Cancer, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of May. So the way that this is structured, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign, which is how other people perceive you. So if you're running your birth chart, you do need to know your birth time because the ascendant does change pretty frequently as far as what zodiac sign that is. So you're looking for your ascendant or your first house. Then this is also applicable for your sun sign, which is how you express yourself. And then of course your moon sign, which is how you process everything emotionally. And so kind of jumping into the energy for the month of May, a lot of Taurus energy, a lot of Gemini energy. And so for you, the impact here is going to be mostly felt in your 11th house, which is your house of friends. And then of course your 12th house, which is all about your inner self. So your subconscious, this is also the spiritual realm. So think of all those things outside, trying to find the best way to describe it. When I think of the 12th house, it's really like you away from the public, you kind of in the privacy of your own home by yourself, whatever it is that you're doing. So self-talk, things like that all come into play when you're talking about the 12th house. And so pretty early in the month, so on May 2nd, we actually have Pluto station retrograde. And so this one's a big deal because we had Pluto move into the sign of Aquarius earlier this year, back in January. And now it's actually going to start its trek backward into Capricorn. So that's going to happen in a couple of months. Right now, it's still going to be in Aquarius. It's a very slow moving planet. And so that's going to happen at 1:47 p.m. Eastern time. And so when this happens, Pluto will trine Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. And so for you, the impact here is Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, 8th house. And then we have Jupiter in Taurus, 11th house. So let's talk about the Pluto retrograde. Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's the ruler of Scorpio, and Aquarius is very liberating energy. And so when you think about Pluto and Aquarius, what has been happening over the last roughly 3-ish months is that we're noticing a lot of barriers coming down. We're seeing a lot of systemic changes that need to happen. We're seeing a lot of flaws that exist in our old paradigms here, in our old systems. And so that's what's been happening. And so now with this Pluto retrograde is giving you an opportunity is to, instead of look at all of the outward changes that are happening, now let's reflect inward and see what's happening there. Or what changes need to happen there. Maybe there's some sort of barrier that exists within yourself that does need to change. With this trine Jupiter in Taurus energy, so Jupiter being the most benefic planet, it's known as the Great Benefic, in the sign of Taurus, so this is in your house of friends. And so all of these changes, all of these barriers that maybe exist within inside you, it looks like you're getting some sort of aid from your friends, your friendships. There's something about that, those connections that's going to help you maybe understand things a little bit better, because Jupiter is also about seeing things clearly. It is the ruler of Sagittarius, so it is about seeing the big picture of things. So think like expansion, growth, but from a totality standpoint. Pluto will also trine Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So we have Pluto in Aquarius. So again, Pluto's retrograde, but it's planet of transformation. Uranus is all about sudden change. And so Uranus in Taurus, these changes are going to be very practical, very grounded. So when you think about these liberating changes as they relate to some sort of practical grounded change, again, impacting your house of friends. So all of these changes may be barriers that existed within you, this transformation that's taking place within you. How does that relate to your friends? Could there also be something here connected to money? So money from an outside source. So an inheritance of some sort, could be about something related to work, because this would be earned income from an employer. So it's not just about transformation, but there is kind of this other piece of it. There's also intimacy and control issues, power and control issues that also exist within this 8th house, because this 8th house is a very intimate, trying to find the best way to describe the 8th house, because I always think of it as like, you're kind of tethered to something, and does that make sense? Does that connection need to exist? And that's what this is really all about here. We'll also have Pluto sextile Mars in the sign of Aries. So Mars in Aries, Mars is the ruler of Aries. So this is really that energy amplified. That's sitting in your career sector. And so whatever's happening here with your group of friends, that's some sort of positive influence on you, some sort of positive transformation taking place within you. maybe you're starting to see things differently here. There's creating an opportunity for you to take action in your career or public reputation. And so all of this is kind of happening around the same time. But it's not like the energy is brand new. We've been building to this energy. And now as it's retrograding, it's giving us this ability to take that step back and say, okay, all of these changes, let me fully understand what's happening here. What kind of impact do they have? How does that impact your career? What kind of action does that encourage you to take? We'll also have Pluto sextile Neptune and Pisces. And so Neptune and Pisces is sitting in your ninth house. So ninth house is higher education, long distance travel. It's your personal philosophy. So really, what is your belief system internally? So maybe religion, depending on how you grew up, and really what has shaped your personal philosophy here. And so Neptune and Pisces is about growth and everything related to it. So when you think about long distance travel, it's to get to know things or get to know people, foreign, understanding more about foreign countries. It's that higher education piece to it. And so all of this transformation that's taking place inside of you, it's also giving you an opportunity to grow your knowledge, expand what you know about the world, maybe make some adjustments to your philosophy. That also relates to some sort of internal change here, because there's something maybe about your belief system that is coming into question that needs to be modified here. Maybe it was holding you back in some sort of way here. And maybe that is also impacting your career. And so really kind of taking a holistic approach to all of this. Then we'll also have Pluto square Venus and Taurus. Venus is the other benefic planet, and it is the natural ruler of Taurus. And so with Venus and Taurus energy, again, when the planet ruling the sign is in that sign, it's at home there. It's really that energy amplified. So this is about what you value, what you want, what you really, where you get your stability, that kind of grounded, practical type of stability, sitting in your house of friends. And so is this shaking up your friendships? Is this, because that's what this is really creating. It's creating some sort of obstacle or challenge. It's creating some sort of, oh, this is not an easy energy. This is something I'm going to have to work with. Maybe there's something connected here to, maybe this is a time to release some sort of friendships that just don't need to be anymore. Maybe you thought of them as one way and they were actually holding you back, or maybe you were going to them for guidance or something and they were giving you really bad advice, and now it's about changing all of it. All of this does come together in some sort of way, so it's going to be specific to each one of you. It's not going to be probably something that's really, really broad in general, except that it does impact your friendships. And then we have the new moon in Taurus. So that's going to happen on the 7th at 11:22 p.m. Eastern time. And so when the moon, so we have the new moons, we'll have the sun and the moon at the same degree point in the sky. They're sitting in your 11th house of friendships. So friendships, again, very much highlighted this month. Aquarius retrograde is going to come up several times, but really sitting here in this 11th house energy, this is really giving you an opportunity to see things very clearly when it comes to your friends and your friendships and what you value about those friendships. Because what you're starting to pick up on is, maybe I didn't see all of my friends the way that I needed to. Maybe that's what that Pluto and Aquarius energy was getting at. Maybe I do need to adjust that lens and look at people a little bit differently, or maybe it's select people a little bit differently. And so this is really giving you this energy of being able to see things clearly in what you value. We'll also have the sun and moon conjunct Venus, again, all in Taurus. So lots and lots of Taurus energy happening here. And this is really not just showing you what you value in your friendships, but maybe giving you an opportunity to bring things together, because that's what that Venus energy is all about. Venus likes to bring things together. We'll also have the sun and moon conjunct Jupiter. And so Venus and Jupiter, the two benefic planets, this is a really positive new moon, especially for you when it comes to your friends and really what you're trying to do here, because this is really about now expanding your friendships. You're seeing things differently. And seeing things differently doesn't have to be a negative. It can be a positive. Like you didn't realize how much you had in common, or that you could bond on that deep of a level. And this is giving you that chance. And it's really an easygoing energy. It's a really easy blend of the energy here to expand your friendships, grow those friendships. It's also, the sun and moon are also going to be conjunct Uranus. And so what happens here from a sudden change standpoint? The sudden changes in this realm would be something that are practical and grounded. And so when you think about all the transformation taking place so far, everything is meant to kind of bring you back down into a stable, grounded place where you can create some stability for yourself and within your friendships as well. Then we'll also have the sun and moon sextile Neptune and Pisces. And so this is creating an opportunity. It's a sextile energy. This is not some sort of easy flowing energy. You do have to act on it. And so when it comes to what it is that you want to grow, do you want to pursue higher education? Because everything that you're learning, maybe this is your friends encouraging you to go back to school, get that degree, get that higher degree, whatever it is that you want to do, maybe travel to that foreign country that you've always wanted to go to, or, study another language or something. There's something about this that's giving you an opportunity to really pursue a dream that you've always had that's going to help you grow. And then on the 15th, we'll have Mercury enter Taurus. And so that's going to happen at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And so we'll have Mercury, Venus, Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus all in the sign of Taurus. And so when this happens, when Mercury enters Taurus, it's in a trine with the moon in Leo. The moon in Leo is all about creative expression. And so really thinking about how you express yourself, how you express what you feel. Leo is also very much a leader type of energy as well. And so when you have Mercury in Taurus, Mercury's communication, Taurus is very practical, very grounded, what you value. So you can already see that this is a very grounded approach, a grounded expression of exactly who you are, what you want, all of these things. And so the houses that are impacted for you, so Mercury in Taurus is sitting in your house of friends. So this would be conversations maybe you're having with friends. Trying the moon in Leo in your second house. So having a conversation about your personal finances, maybe about an investment opportunity. This would be money that you already have. It's not money coming in from an outside source. We'll also have Mercury in Taurus square Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so again, 11th house, 8th house energy. So 11th house Mercury in Taurus. So you're having conversations again with your friends. There might be something here that is bringing up some sort of obstacle or challenge as it relates to whatever is transforming inside of you. And this feels a lot like, because we're kind of coming off of a pattern of really, really heavy energy, wounds coming to the surface, maybe a lot of healing that needs to take place. That's definitely part of this 8th house transformation. This would be the death and rebirth. So think of it as like a new beginning, a new chapter for you. And so when you think of it from that perspective, the square is a little bit easier to handle. Your friends might be helping you understand maybe why something happened, or how do you navigate whatever's happening here? How do you heal here from whatever has been coming to the surface? Would it be power and control issues? Or could it be something completely separate where maybe your friends are talking to you about your personal finances and that is creating some sort of obstacle or challenge relative to the money you're bringing in? As an example, maybe they want you to buy crypto and you just don't have the money to spend on crypto, but you know this is something that you really want to do. That would be some sort of obstacle or challenge. It's how do you figure out a way to either save more money so that you can buy it or find a way to earn more income. That would be the 8th house energy. That would be money coming in from an outside source. Outside source could be employer, could be an inheritance, could be your spouse's income. Those are the things. And then on the 20th, we'll have the sun enter Gemini. And so that's going to happen at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And when that happens, we do have Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus conjunct the sun, but those are all sitting in Taurus and the sun is sitting in Gemini. So the sun likes to highlight things. It is how you express yourself. In Gemini, so Gemini is very intelligent, curious, very, very curious. It will ask all the questions, get down into all those details to really get that full understanding of what's happening here. So think of it as being very talkative and very open, direct type of questions too. This is not, Gemini doesn't beat around the bush on this one. Not at all. And so for you, the sun in Gemini is sitting in your 12th house. And so the 12th house, again, is kind of you away from society, you away from everybody else. The sun in Gemini usually indicates a period of maybe self-reflection, self-care, getting yourself out of anything. So spending time at home by yourself, or really maybe reading a book, something like that. Whatever your self-care routine is, it would be something that you do on your own. It would not be with other people, because then that would get more into like 11th house type of energy. This is 12th house. This is something that you're doing on your own. Sun in the 12th house could also indicate some sort of spiritual awakening that could be taking place here. And so with the sun in Gemini conjunct Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus all in your house of friends, there is going to be something here about the way that you express yourself and how that relates to some sort of growth that you want within your friend circle, maybe enhancing what you value here. that Uranus energy, what changes need to take place here, or what will actually take place here, because that's kind of more like the Tower card in tarot. It's not really something that you can plan. It's just kind of something that happens. But there are necessary changes for your growth. So that's the Sun conjunct Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus. But the Sun will also be trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so now this is where really that kind of time away from everybody else comes into play, where you're kind of by yourself, blending, this energy is blending with any kind of internal change that's happening to you. So think of it from a healing perspective. This would be you really prioritizing your self-care, making sure your needs are being met, really developing your spiritual side, getting in touch with yourself, kind of almost like reconnecting your physical and your spiritual beings here, and giving you that opportunity to really heal or grow through whatever this transformation is for you. And so again, the transformation could be something relative to power and control issues, anything intimacy issues, from like maybe prior relationships, current relationships, anything along those lines. It could also indicate some sort of relationship with money that maybe you would earn from an employer or something like that. So this is really giving you a time to reflect on all of this. But the Sun in Gemini is also sextile Neptune and Pisces. And so all of this internal reflection, all of this prioritizing your self-care, whatever it is that your spiritual needs are, it's giving you an opportunity to really grow who you are. And so what is taking place here? It's almost like a shedding of the old skin. You're about to step into this brand new chapter. You've got so much going on here. And this next chapter feels a lot like growth and expansion for you. It's about taking all these lessons learned, making peace with whatever happened in the past so that you can continue to grow. And then we have the full moon in Sagittarius. So that is going to happen on the 23rd at 9:53 in the morning Eastern time. And so when this happens, we'll have the Sun in Gemini, we'll have the moon in Sagittarius. And so they're at opposite points, because that's what the full moon is. And so there's always this push-pull energy when it comes to this, because they're completely opposite from each other. So it's who's going to be more dominant? How do you find that balance in between? Sun in Gemini. So this is very curious. Let's get into the details. Let's ask all the questions. How does this all work? And then you've got the moon in Sagittarius. It's, okay, well, how do I feel about the big picture? How do I feel about understanding that kind of truth to the situation? Because Gemini can get so into the details that you kind of miss that big picture. And Sagittarius can really focus so much on the big picture, you miss all the details that you need in order to get what you want in that big picture. And so this is that push-pull energy. And for you, this is that 12th house, 6th house energy. So with the Sun in Gemini in the 12th house, again, a lot of internal reflection, really questioning yourself, your belief system, again, really tied into this whole transformation that you're going through. With the moon in Sagittarius, now we're talking about 6th house. So what this indicates to me is you have a certain feeling about your daily life. There's something that feels maybe comfortable to you. Maybe it just feels really, you're used to it. It is that comfort feeling, like you're just kind of used to it, but there's some sort of growth happening within inside you that is now creating some sort of opposition to your daily life, the one that's already established. And so there might be a little bit of a struggle here internally on how do you release some of these things in your daily life that don't serve you in this new chapter? How do you release that and let that go? How do you find that kind of happy medium here? Because what it's doing is it's really highlighting what those daily things are that just don't work for you anymore. And we have a lot going on with this full moon. And so you're going to see a lot of energy during this time period. And so the Sun will be conjunct Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus. Again, they're all in Taurus. And so we've talked about this already, but this is about your group of friends. So these changes that you're making, positive impact here with your group of friends. We've got growth, we've got expansion, we've got the, just removing of all the white noise, things that just don't matter anymore. We'll also have the moon opposite those three planets, because again, the Sun and the moon are opposite each other. And so with the moon opposite Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus, now this is really, okay, what about my daily life? What is maybe creating some sort of obstacle or challenge in that growth that I want with my friends, that I'm experiencing with my friends? What's changing here, and why is that impacting me so much? And how do I find that happy medium? It's really coming down to this full moon is helping you release something connected to your daily life that just doesn't need to be there anymore, or modify it in some way that now fits with this new chapter that's unfolding. We'll also have the moon trine Neptune and Pisces. And so when it comes to your daily routines, there's something about your daily routines that really kind of helps you grow here, helps you understand, maybe see the big picture. Sagittarius is kind of the natural ruler of the ninth house, and that's where Neptune in Pisces is sitting for you. So it's really giving you this energy of, okay, well, I can see the truth of the situation, but there's things about this that I really like. There's things about this that really work for me that I want to keep forward. That's what that energy is. It's like there's pieces you want to carry into this new chapter. We'll have the sun sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so the sextile is creating an opportunity here for you to really get into the weeds. Okay, well, what is it I like about that routine? What is it that I want to change? What is it that I want to keep? And that's where the Gemini energy comes into play to really kind of dig deep into those details to see what should be here and let go of the rest. We'll also have the sun trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so with this sun trine Pluto in Aquarius, so these are both sitting in what are considered the death houses within astrology. So 12th house, 8th house energy, but this is a lot of internal reflection, a lot of internal change. And it's not death in a negative way. This is in a transformation type of way. One is your transformation as it may relate to other people, that 8th house energy. And one is transformation really around you and your spiritual self and getting in just in a better alignment with who you are, really kind of grounding yourself in who you are. And so what this is doing here, because this is an easy blend of energy, whatever transformation, whatever it is that you're healing from, you're growing through, whatever that is, relationship with money, other people's money, power and control issues, intimacy issues, whatever this is here, whatever maybe a wound that came to the surface during the eclipse, this is really giving you that opportunity to process it internally and really make peace with it so that you can kind of move through it. We'll also have the moon sextile Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And so with this, your daily routines are also giving you an opportunity to really heal through this. So there's something that you're doing and there's something that you have an opportunity to do here to really incorporate into your daily routine to help you heal and to help you move through this transformation that's taking place. So maybe it is incorporating more self-care, or maybe it's just making time for yourself for whatever it is that you need to do. That's what this is kind of all about right here. And then we'll have Venus enter Gemini, so it's actually on the same day as the full moon. And so this is going to happen at 4:31 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so the full moon, 9:53 in the morning, Venus moving into Gemini, 4:31 in the afternoon. And so when this does, because we just had the full moon, we'll have Venus conjunct the sun in the sign of Gemini. And so this Venus energy now sitting in your 12th house, along with the sun sitting in your 12th house, this is about what you value about yourself. This is about what kind of things do you want for yourself from a growth standpoint. Venus is really kind of like a Mother Nature type of thing. So it's about planting those seeds. It's about bringing something together, creating some sort of harmony within yourself. So all of this change that's taking place, this is a lot of really positive energy for your own spiritual growth. This could be some sort of an awakening that might be taking place for you when it comes to your spiritual beliefs or really what it is that you want here. You might be daydreaming about the types of relationships that you want because Venus also rules relationships. And so that is also coming into play here. Venus will also be conjunct Jupiter and Uranus, but Jupiter and Uranus are still in Taurus. And so this Venus and Gemini energy conjunct Jupiter and Taurus in your house of friends. So now what you're looking for is some sort of growth, maybe some sort of harmony between your inner self and your friends, and maybe what kind of changes have been taking place there. It's really kind of blending this transformation that's happening inside of you. It's like really taking this inner you and harmonizing it with your group of friends. We'll also have Venus trine Pluto retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And so Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, again, your transformation. So what is taking place here? How do you feel about all of that? Because this almost feels like a picking up the pieces type of energy. So this would, to me, this feels like a lot of healing is taking place, especially with this Venus energy, because it feels like a lot of forgiveness, a lot of, okay, well, because within a relationship, there's always going to be obstacles and challenges, and it's about how do you work through those. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up here. It is this energy of, well, I know I'm healing, but I know I've made mistakes as well. So it's almost like this self-forgiveness that's taking place. That's what I'm picking up on. We'll also have Venus sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so all of this that you feel about yourself, this healing that's taking place, this transformation, just you kind of really bringing yourself into some sort of true alignment here and really valuing yourself, really seeing your own self-worth, is creating an opportunity here for you to go after your dreams. Maybe this is something that you never thought you were capable of doing in the past. Maybe going back to school or getting that advanced degree, whatever it is, long distance travel or anything like that. Maybe there was something here that was always holding you back. But with this transformation, with this new vision you have for yourself and the way that you're stepping into this new chapter is really giving you an opportunity to go after exactly what you want here. Think big, because that's what ninth house is. Think big. And we'll also have Venus opposite the moon. And so Venus in Gemini, 12th house, opposite the moon in Sagittarius, 6th house. So again, this kind of spiritual growth that you're experiencing, and again, could be fantasizing about relationships. To me, when it comes to your moon in Sagittarius, is there something about your relationships and your daily life that maybe just isn't in alignment? Is there something here that you need to change in your daily life in order to welcome in that type of relationship? Maybe that was something that you always kept at arm's length because that was the wound that you've been trying to heal. So it would be something along those lines. It would be just, your internal reflection and the way that you're currently living. They're at odds with each other, creating some sort of conflict. And so something here has to give. And so what is it that needs to change in order for you to feel better and just more in alignment at home? And then we'll have Jupiter enter Gemini. And so we've got the two benefic planets both moving into the sign of Gemini during the month of May. So this is pretty big energy here. So on the 25th at 7:15 p.m., we'll have Jupiter enter Gemini. And so we'll have the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter all in Gemini. This is all about your spiritual side. This is all about that internal reflection, how you speak to yourself, because Gemini is a communicative sign. What is it that you want to grow? What is it you want to expand? What is it that you want to bring together, maybe heal about yourself here? And so there's a lot of really kind of spiritual growth. You might be expanding your spiritual growth here. You might be expanding a spiritual practice. That might be something that you find yourself incorporating during this month. Maybe it's a meditation practice that you add into your daily routine. That would be a spiritual practice. But there's something here that's happening, that's taking place, that it feels really growth oriented during this month. We'll also have Jupiter conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So this growth, this expansion that you're feeling spiritually, that you want to nurture and grow specifically, is really blending with your friendships. There's something that you're getting a lot of support here when it comes to your community around you. And so really pay attention to that, because you're definitely not alone in this journey. There's definitely a lot of people supporting you as you go through this. So I say that because I remember the April readings and how difficult some of those were. And we'll also have Jupiter trine Pluto retrograde. And so again, blending of the energy here. So again, thinking of the 11th house, your community of friends, these people that are supporting you as you go through this transition, because that's what that Pluto retrograde is doing for you. It is helping you transition. It is helping you maybe come to terms with something connected to finances coming in. So think of things like maybe a divorce. That could also be something that you're dealing with here. Again, power and control issues, intimacy issues, something connected to earned income from an employer. I mean, we are in a recession. People are losing their jobs all the time. So there could be something connected to that as well. There's something here where this is a very easy blend, a very positive blend of energy that's helping you grow and understand, you know what, that wasn't right for me. It wasn't. Pluto in Aquarius, there was something very liberating about it. And it might finally start to make sense to you why this happened. We'll also have Jupiter sextile Neptune in Pisces. And so this growth, this expansion from yourself spiritually, this alignment that you're putting yourself in, is also creating an opportunity for you to go after what you want here. So what kind of growth opportunities do you see for yourself? Again, going back to higher education, long distance travel, foreign countries, things along those lines. What is it that you want here? Maybe where have you felt like you couldn't achieve it in the past? You do have an opportunity to achieve it now. This is a sextile. This is creating the opportunity. So this would be something that you would have to activate and really action if you wanted it to happen. Yeah, that was the end. So Cancer, this is your reading for the month of May. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.